A recent Deutsche Bank research survey reveals a bearish outlook for Bitcoin among participants, with a third expecting the cryptocurrency to drop below 20,000 by the end of 2024. This sentiment comes amidst the backdrop of significant price fluctuations. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and let's start. Price structure in Bitcoin looks similar to 2020, plus seasonality correlates perfectly, with bottom around 38,000. Took advantage of the deep opportunity in miners today and accumulated some more like I started throughout the January. These were broad-based bets in the stocks and I already own. For transparency reasons, I will pause okay, that's not what we're going to talk about, but basically let's quickly check out the chart, the demand zone that we are in, and we were in 2020, and this one actually expects to be the same in 2024. Let's see if it actually plays out like this, but I feel like it's not going to, and we're probably going to end up this month with a 38,000, lower than 38,000, and if we do, we're going to drop below the $30,000, and the next 2 months will be bearish. We still have to look for the next week because it will actually play out the next move. The Bitcoin market is absorbing billions of dollars in daily sell pressure and is still having one of the smallest drawdowns we have seen during the macro uptrend. Imagine being bearish, instead learning the tools to stack your sats at the best price. Watch for SO or BR and STHMVRV trading as close to 1 as you can get. Bonus points for deeps below indicating weak hand blood in the streets. As soon as Bitcoin dropping below blood indicator and failed to reclaim and prepare to beat lower, first beats above 38,000 were already filed, as the rest of the beats are spread between 36,500 and 38,000. If you want to play it safe, then wait for Bitcoin to reclaim BTS indicator. Unpopular opinion analysis on altcoins and where we are. Bitcoin is going to 58% and maybe higher IMO. I called this over a year ago and I'm still confident it will reach this level, so when Bitcoin really starts to move, it will for a brief period suck all of the air out of the room, so to speak, and its dominance will push hard to the upside. This happens literally every cycle. At this point, 90% of alts will stand still or wane slightly. Then when Bitcoin has topped out on dominance, the real alt season begins. This in my view will be at about 58%. Most of our altcoins positions were taken in September 2023, as this was for a number of reasons. We had taken aggressive positions with the Bitcoin at the lows in November 2022, and most capital was dedicated to the move to 48,000, which we called in January 2023. We didn't want to take uncertain unnecessary risk with altcoins at the low in November 2022 because we still weren't sure of the narrative and how some alts might perform, and it was much easier to sit in Bitcoin for this move, thus minimizing risk. And once we identified a narrative and researched a huge amount of altcoins, we were ready to take positions approximately 6 months before the halving, which is always a good reference point with a risk, and these altcoins are now up collectively 80%, which isn't bad given we are nowhere near on an alt season. And we're also now confident in these positions, and members will continue to add on market corrections when spare capital is available, as this will continue until the halving of 3 of thereabouts. And if you want to learn more, so we are going to talk more. 9 Bitcoin ETFs have amassed over 100,000 Bitcoin in only 7 days of trading. Sailor spent 3 years accumulating about 190,000 Bitcoins. Do not underestimate the power of incumbent financial class. They want you to part with your Bitcoin. We're not effing selling. This is your reminder that minus 30% are super common during a Bitcoin bull market, basically what we had before and what we're looking into right now. Bitcoin bears will keep saying it's going to zero, but I don't have the balls to short. Bitcoin bulls keep saying Bitcoin will go to millions, and they put their money where their mouth is by buying every single dip. I wonder who will end up being right. Bitcoin's past performance won't be repeated. Quotes by the every non-thinking bozo who has no concept of adoption as curves, nor how it has historically taken place. So Bitcoin is still a baby, and it's only 15 years old and has only been adopted by 1% of all these people on Earth. This is still Bitcoin's beginning, and the beginning of an adoption phase is never the fastest. Bitcoin biggest or most potent. So not only is the idea of diminishing returns for the future outright dumb conceptually, and if it were to actually occur indefinitely for Bitcoin, it would be very first time in the history of the world in which an item experienced its best adoption and performance years first. And I'll repeat my firm stance once again in this light. We ain't seen nothing yet, and if all recorded history is correct, Bitcoin will accelerate its performance, not slow down its adoption and performance, as the thing we must not get fooled by is confusing a pause, part of the S-curve, and an outright halt. Bitcoin is going to blow all of our minds, so if I were you, I would rather stick harder as possible and ignore all the noise right now, including USD price noise. We are still super early. Take a look at the screenshot where we see the adoption of technology in the US in 1900s to the present time, with 100% price position over here, how it all started going down basically, and Bitcoin is just right here. So we are still, not going down, going up to the 100%. So basically we are in right here, over here. So as we could see, we're still on the start of the adoption. And also, that's kind of all we got on today's video. So if you are interested in more, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one, and peace.